you're just as likely to pick up a gun and put it to your head as you are to survive using heroin. Because heroin is a psychological and physical addiction, meaning your body has to have it and your mind is telling you you have to have it. You can't go cold turkey on heroin. It is a nasty, nasty drug, and you will do things that are not in your nature.
There's a myth out there that somebody who's using drugs is engaged in a selfish habit, that they're not hurting anybody, and I can say that's not true at all. Every drug user has somebody that they've hurt, that they've not been there for because they're under the influence, or they're using their time and money to obtain drugs. I see a lot of people in the probation office who steal from family members, steal from friends and businesses, so I can truly say that a drug addiction and drug habit hurts everybody.
In kindergarten, they ask you what you want to be when you grow up. And, you know, the kid next to me raises his hand, he wants to be a doctor. You know, so the other kid raises his hand, he wants to be a lawyer. You know, I raised my hand, I wanted to be a baseball player. But there was nobody in that class that raised their hand and said, I want to be a drug addict. And, you know, I couldn't control what I was doing at the time. And I left the field and I was just in tears.
People who are using heroin are not the typical destitute, marginalized persons, homeless in our society. This is not the profile of the typical heroin user today. Today, the typical heroin user is your neighbor next door. It is the young person who's going to high school. It is the young professional, and it is a growing problem.
A lot of times, especially if they're injecting, they'll have track marks, they'll have needle marks on their arms. A lot of them will have extreme weight loss. They have an inability to focus on a task or schoolwork and complete things like they normally might have been able to do before. Those are some of the big things. They like to sleep a lot and just mainly be alone, and they're kind of acting different than they were prior to starting the use of heroin.